Here we go. North versus Manly. It's a rivalry that has been existing since 1947. Go look it up in your history books. I don't have time to explain it here, but anytime the Bears and the Sea Eagles get together, it is a fiery matchup, especially, Garen, when it is in the NBL1 East Grand Final. Whoa. It's the Battle of the Spit Bridge. What more could you ask for? We've got a rematch of the 2017 Waratah League Grand Final, and both teams dropped out in the semis last year. So they're going one better this year, both making it through to the grand final, and they've both got a point to prove.
2017 Waratah League was a while back, and the leagues have changed since then. And we don't have to face Lauren Jackson anymore, so that's a huge bonus.
Yeah.
When Lauren Jackson stepped up last year, that was tough for us in the semi-finals, and we're unable to advance. So we don't have Lauren Jackson to face anymore, and it's going to be interesting.
And Garen, these two teams have met twice this year, both times Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles getting the win, but two very different games. Can you take us back to round one for that 70-55 loss for the Bears, win for Manly?
North's Manly, first round they played last time, 70-55. So Norths couldn't get the win, and that was pre-Jolene Anderson. Second time we played them, though, round 5 was a little bit more different, 70-73. M. Simons had 23 that night. Maddie also put up 19, Maddie O'Hare. But for the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles, it was the Delaney sisters, and boy, have they been a bright spot. And MVP consideration, Alex Delaney also 23 points. Felicity Henderson 16 and 9. And clutch shooting by Bree. Bree Delaney also had clutch shooting previous game against Centre of Excellence in the semi-finals. So it's tough when you got shooters on deck.
It's really difficult with Manly, I mean, because that game, I mean, if you look at the box score, I mean, and the score, 70-73, it was very, very close. But Manly just got the right baskets at the right time on demand, and the Bears just couldn't get that game winner. But it goes to show the quality of this Manly-Warringah team. Yeah, you look at the box scores, and not one player actually scores, 20, 25, but
their starting around five scoring is very balanced. I think three people average 10 maybe in a starting five. One averages 12 and the other averages about 14. So their whole starting five combined is about 55, 60 points. So that's hefty right there. But it's tough when Norths won against Comets last game, and boy, what a convincing win that was. From a defensive perspective, when you're able to shut down someone like Charlotte Hills with about 35% shooting, 38% shooting, that's tough. And credit goes to Kate Seaborn on the defensive end. And boy, what an anchor she's been all season. Not only that, Panousis as well, someone who averages 23 points, able to shut her down. They're two great athletes, but when you got better defense thrown at them, the tables turn. But on the offensive end, it was the Wisconsin string music. Jolene Anderson, the green light was given and green light was taken. 26 and 9 on 57% shooting, James. And who else really stepped up? Off the bench.
Carla Pittman again.
Plus 18 efficiency. Chicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Off the bench, so
it was amazing. So it was a bit of a tighter rotation, but Carla Pittman and Sarah Sugar coming off the bench. I mean, CP 23 points, 7 rebounds, and did that 64% shooting. She had 20
slashes,
and had 20 points the week before as well. So Carla Pittman's really stepping up in that 6-player role, coming off the bench and just being exquisite in these finals series. So it's good to see. Again, we're saying this about Manly before. It's not just one player who steps up. I mean, maybe there'll be a leading scorer every night. I mean, there always is. But it doesn't really matter who's scoring as long as they're winning. I think these teams have that unselfish mentality. I mean, that's why they're in the grand final.
Be a star in your role, buy into your role. And Renee does that really well. She's kept her rotations a bit tighter in the semi-finals. But the players that have stepped on have given them the absolute all. The bench energy's there, and it's going to be an absolute loud game. Manly likes to bring the noise in the crowd, and they like to go. And it should be good. But the strengths Norths really do well is their defense. It starts with the defensive end. Are you communicating? Are you making sure you got your coverages right? Are you switching or whatever? And it starts with Kate Seaborn. She brings the energy, the full court press, reading passing lanes, being active, just knowing the scouting reports where players like their tendencies on the court, where they like to shoot, and just pushing the pace in transition is another one. Their ball movement. And it also starts with Kate Seaborn, keeping her head on the swivel, 360, always finding players cutting and slashing. James.
Yeah, I mean, it's massive, and it's just, as I was saying before as well, just an unselfish team. So, yes, of course, M. Simons does normally lead the scoring, but players like Maddie O'Hare can step up Schicker and Bygate, what a great rotation that is to have from this centre position. They both give you something a little different, but one thing they give you is quality.
And then what about 15 years of experience playing overseas and all over the world in Jolene Anderson? And stepping up in the biggest moments. Her jump shot hasn't worn out at all. It just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. So
yeah, it's looking like clockwork at the moment. And of course, both these teams average the least turnovers in the competition. So both teams very secure with the ball. But we'll move on to Manly. As you were saying earlier, Garen, got that close win over the Centre of Excellence. But in that game, you always kind of thought Manly had it. No offense to Centre of Excellence. They played a great game in a hostile environment.
Yeah, the Centre of Excellence almost had it. Could have been a couple plays. It was back and forth in it. Michael and I were able to catch it and watch it. And yeah, Brie Delaney, boy, did she hit some big threes to sort of seal the deal.
Yeah,
but Fliss Henderson, 21, 9, and 10, near triple-double. Kim Hodge, 18 and 8. It was just a balanced effort. And it was just trading buckets at one point. But then at one point, Manly took the reins and just went away with it.
And can I just say, I mean, with the awards this year, of course, Jada Crawford had a phenomenal season and a real young gun, a great talent. But I think Fliss Henderson was quite unlucky to miss out on Youth Player of the Year in NBL1 East.
Was a shout too, and there was a lot of good shouts on that list.
Yeah, so I mean, but with Fliss Henderson, she's just been doing it all and playing a huge role on the most successful team in the East competition this season. So big shout out to Fliss Henderson. Can't wait to see what the future holds for her in basketball. She's just been phenomenal this year. And Garen, for Manly-Warringah, we're talking earlier about their team chemistry, really, really good. They're a tight unit. I mean, of course, they haven't had too much chopping and changing in the last few seasons. Pretty much kept the same roster, a few players in, a few players out.
Yeah, they got really good chemistry. We saw the recent interview on NBL1 East where they had the Delaney sisters, and they basically said they're like a family down at Manly, just how Bears are. So they're very similar in the sense that they've got good culture and team chemistry, and that's huge because players don't become selfish on the court. They move the ball well, and rebounding, something they do really well as well. Kim Hodge is a huge factor on that end as well. And just emphasizing their ball movement and high percentage shots. Look for 2 feet in the paint and kickouts because they've got good shooters. So
that's actually one thing I do want to add on to that as well. Very versatile team, from the Delaney sisters to Hodge to the Hendersons. They can all kind of rotate positions, and I think that's defensively why they're so strong. On average, they're actually quite a tall team. Obviously don't have a huge big in Kim Hodge, but Kim Hodge is phenomenal at moving her feet, great with her hands as well, defensively, and that means the switches are a little easier. But then on offense as well, a lot of ball handlers can whip the ball around, people pop in and out of the paint, look for those threes as well. So the versatility for Manly is, I think, been a huge key to the success this year as well. Garen, I was going to ask for a tip in this game, but we don't want to seem biased. I got to say, this one could really go either way. I know it's cliche, but it's true. Like, these two teams are so evenly matched. And I'm just glad to see them both in the final because they both play an excellent brand of basketball. Really good brand of basketball.
The games this weekend will be held at the Sydney Uni Basketball Stadium. Go check it out. Go check it out and get your parking in early. And should be a loud stadium, a loud arena, and two top teams going at it.